Hello friends, I just had a story unfold today that I just feel led to share with you from my heart. And many of you know that a good friend of mine had surgery yesterday for a blood clot, and surgery was a success, and got a great message from his wife this morning that he was going to be released at noon. And once I heard that, I didn't really think I would have to go back to see him and maybe encourage him, but as the morning went on, the nudge got deeper, stronger, and I don't know if you've ever had that from God. Many times I'm sad to say, but I deflected, but this time I couldn't get rid of it. And so I went over to the hospital to see him. And the story that unfolded in the parking lot, God revealed to me why I needed to be there. As I parked the truck, a lady came running, tears streaming down her cheeks, saying, "Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. How can I help you?" And she goes, "It's my grandson, my grandson. He tried to take his life last night by jumping off a bridge, and he's here at the hospital in the emergency room. He's a big golfer. Would you go see him? Would you try to say hi to him, or maybe just touch base with him?" And I said, "Ma'am, I will. I will." I go, "Where's his mom and dad?" And she said, "His mom's here in the car. We saw your truck pull in and saw it in his grip with a golfer, and we just felt like we needed to reach out to you." I said, "Well, let's go over to his mommy and let's pray." So I went with the grandmother and the mother, and at the car I heard their story. And I don't know how many sons you have, or how many brothers you have, or how many dads you have that are struggling with alcohol. But as we came together and prayed, God started to break my heart for men, for young men that are struggling with any addiction. And we just lifted up a prayer for this young man, and I went into the hospital, and they didn't know if I could get in to see him or not. And I first went in and touched base with my friend, make sure he was doing good. I shared with him the story that just unfolded in the parking lot, and he said, "Hey, let's stop and pray before you go down and try to see this young man." And we had a great time of prayer. And as I went to an area of the hospital where I thought this young man was, he was being held by an officer where he couldn't leave his room. My heart continued to break for him, and I was able to just slide by and say a quick hello and just introduce myself, and saw the brokenness of this young man. And guys, what God is revealing to me is when He nudges us to make a phone call, when He nudges us to stop by a house, when He nudges us to lift up a prayer for somebody, we need to stop and acknowledge that God is asking to use each of us to be an extension of His hands and feet here on earth. And I don't know how many times I've missed that nudge, but please join me from this day forward. Be open for God to use each and every one of us in a dying and hurting world. Your smile, your hello, or your opening a door may just be what that person needs as you intersect their life for that one moment. Please join me in continuing to pray for this young man who's a golfer. And the only thing that's going to be able to break that addiction is Jesus. And allowing him to get help, and allowing for others to come alongside of him. And I look with great expectation of what God is going to do through the story as He continues to pen through this young man a purpose and a plan for his life. And God bless you. Thank you for all your prayers for the ministry of In His Grip. I'm humbled about what God is doing, but it's all about His business while we're here on earth. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.